Hi everyone. For those of you watching this, it's because you've bought a Bounti bungee bifold. It is an incredible rebounder. It's one of our lightest, if not the lightest rebounder we've ever had, and it's the ultra travel companion. So if you're looking for a rebounder to augment the one that you've already got, so maybe one you've got one of our other ones, the deluxes, or you've got a neon, or any of the others, this rebounder is the one you should get. And when you get it, I'll show you some of the features today. So the objective today is to show you the components, the features, and help you with the assembly, deconstruction, and construction of the product. So the components that we have in the box. So when you get it, usually it will ship, well, hopefully you got one of these half moon bags. And very simply, you open it up and boom, you put your little bifold in the bag. Okay, so I'm not going to do that whole process, but we have multiple versions of that bag, different colors that you could get it in. But the bifold, watch this, look how light this is. This product is probably one of the lightest rebounders in the world. It's extremely light. Hand luggage, throw it in the back of your car. If you're a lady, this is not a heavy rebounder in any way or form, and to assemble it is very, very simple. So components in the box. So you got the rebounder itself, which folds beautifully in half. With that comes 6 legs. So you got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 legs, and then very, very importantly, you've got 2 silver pins. And these 2 silver pins come in the box, and these silver pins are applicable when you flick the rebounder open, and you shove these 2 pins on either side of the frame, and I'll show you where you do that. And it keeps the frame from shutting on you. Okay, very, very important. If you lose this, let us know. We have spares of these, and we can always send you replacements of them. But critical, make sure you put them in your bag or you put them in your handbag, so always keep them safe. And then in there comes an instruction manual and a little leaflet from us explaining some cool facts about the product and some social media handles where you can reach out to us. So let's do this. Let's open the bifold. I'll show you how simple this is. So wherever you get to your hotel room, you get on your hotel room, you get to the beach, wherever you are, put down your bifold, and very simply, you put your foot on one side, right, of the half moon, and then you flick it on the other side. Now be careful, it does have a bit of a snap. So when you do this, lean forward, and there you go. So put your foot down, but put both feet down and push it flat. And you'll notice that it has quite a flick to it. So there you go, there's your bifold, ready for you to jump. Now, once this is done, next thing you do, and it's very, very important, next thing you do is the pins. Don't start with the legs, okay? And be careful when you open this rebounder up. The kids are not around. You don't have objects around you that are sharp. You may fall back, fall to the side. It's common. If you're really, really light in weight, it may require quite a shove. But you put both your feet on the frame, and when it's open, and you push it down and just lean into it, and it'll flick open. Watch for your fingers when you're holding the frame. So when you're flicking it down, as you're flicking it down, be careful that the frame doesn't snap onto your fingers. So with your palms, right, push it down and it'll flick open. Again, safety warning, make sure the kids are not around. You're not around objects if you fall to the side or whatever, and make sure both your feet are on, or at least one foot. And when you're pushing it, all your weight's going forward. So be prepared to land on your wrists as you push it down. Then one side of the rebounder, over here, is a little hinge. And at that hinge, this is where you're flicking in your first little silver pin. It's got a nice little ball to it. So when you flick it in, it does have some safety. Very easy to pull out. You'll see a little ball that indents over there. So we flick that into the hinge over there, turn it around, and you flick it into, let me just take this cap off. The caps are there when you get it the first time. There you go. So now you got your little silver pins in. They won't fall out because of the way they kind of get stuck in there by that little indentable ball. And then each little foot has a little plastic cap on, just a protective cap. So you're going to remove these caps. Now, for me, it's not really a big deal, but if you want to save these little plastic caps, do so. And when you're putting it into your half moon bag, or you're putting it into your car, you're putting it on top there, it just stops the steel from perhaps banging or something like that. But it's just really a protective measure for the feet or the legs, the extension from the frame bumping into something. If you just take these off very simply. And now, you just put the legs on. Legs, very, very simple. Screw them in. Very, very simple assembly. Okay. And this is where it's going to fast forward as I put the legs on. Okay, last leg. Screw in the last leg, and your rebounder is fully assembled. Once this happens, turn it around, and it's good to jump. I'm going to show you a couple of things regarding the bifold in a second. Now you can see I'm really putting effort into getting this leg onto the frame. The first time you get your bifold, there will be paint on the threading of that little connector on the frame, which you're connecting the leg to. First time, you're gonna have to put some effort in. Get your man to do it for you, get your kids to do it for you. But then once that's done, the thread's been eaten up and the paint is done, then it is assembled. Now, some aspects of a fully assembled bifold. Notice how light that is. Extremely light. And remember, 90 kilograms is the max. So I shouldn't really be jumping on this because giving away my weight, it is a product that's for someone a little less heavy than I am, admittedly. But once it's assembled, it's good to go. You can jump. Now I just want to warn you a couple of things. Number one, these plastic legs at the end do come off quite easily. So careful, don't lose them. They might come off during travel if you're checking them in as luggage. You may want to take them off and just keep them with you if you're traveling, and when you get wherever you get, you just flick them back on again. Important because they protect the floor and you don't want to jump without them. If you don't have these, it creates an unequal surface and it's not optimal. Another thing about the bifold is it is something that has got quite a few large bungee cords. Okay, so this is one piece there, then you have another one over there, another one over there, another one over there. So I'll just turn it around to show you. Once it's assembled, you'll see there's a bungee cord there, all the way there. To remove the bungee cord, should it wear over time, you need to replace it, you can get one. Very simple, you pull it out. It's got this little ball at the end, and there's a little connector in there. You just literally flick it up and over and into that little sliver over there, and the little ball at the end of the bungee cord will hold itself in place. You see, like, that's one bungee cord. So if this one is worn over time and you need to replace it, flick it up, open, weave it out, other side, and you send that to us. If all of them need to be replaced, similar. So that's one bungee cord. You've got 2, 3, 4. So it's 4 large pieces of bungee that make up the entire bungee setup, the elasticity of the product. So there you have it. That's your bifold. Simply something that can go with you everywhere, easy to set up. And now to deconstruct it, little trick. We learned this over time. It's not in the manual. But the easiest way for you to close this frame, once it's been set up, is to keep one of the legs on it. Okay, so if you take a look at the hinges, take a look at your bifold, lift it up, you'll see on either ends, there's the little silver clips that go in, the little silver safety clips in there to ensure that the bifold doesn't bump, right? So what you want to do is leave it as is when you start disassembling it. Remove all the legs besides this one that goes in between the 2 hinges. So this one here in the middle or the one at the bottom. Just leave either one of these. So here's your 2 silver clips. Leave either this one or leave that one, because that's going to help you when you're flicking it closed, when you're needing to close the frame. Remember, the frame has that little jaws, that little clippy jaws when it closes. So you need that leg to pull on. So let's do that. Okay, so I'm going to take some of the legs off, and then I'll show you quickly how the bifold closes up and you can throw it back in your bag with the legs. So let's do that. Okay, as I mentioned before, taking off that second last leg. So what you have left is the bifold with one leg attached, which is between the 2 pins. Remember that. And this is how simple it is once the leg is on. You stand on one side of the frame, right? And you simply grab the leg and you flick it. Oh, the safety pins. Don't forget this. Typical error that a lot of people do is exactly what I just did there. Safety pins need to come out. It's the last thing you do before you close the little bifold rebounder. Why? Because as you're taking the legs out, you don't want something to flick closed. Okay, so we've got our legs. So 1, 2, 3, and boom. You watch, notice how it flicked up. Okay, so if you, let me just do that again so you can see. I'll lean down. Notice how easy it is with the leg on. And again, with the leg off, you're just taking it one side. So if you someone take both your weight and boom. Okay, so let me show again. This is very important from a safety perspective. Both legs on the frame or on the mat, but your heels on the mat and frame. Grab this. You can grab with both hands and you just pull it towards you. But be careful. Make sure that this doesn't jump up at you. Okay, you can do it without the leg. I find it's a lot easier when the leg's attached to it. Okay, and you take off that last leg. Off, and your bifold is disassembled. So easy assembly, easy disassembly. You throw it into your little half-moon bag with all your components and off on your travels. Amazing rebounder. Enjoy.